Hello Governor's Honors Program, my name is Devin. I'm here to talk to you guys about a problem about related rates that I struggled with a lot, how long I took on it, and exactly what I did wrong. Let's jump into it. I actually have a quote here. I'm sure you're wondering, why do I have a quote? Mathematicians are not people who find math easy, people who enjoy how hard it is. Matt Parker, Humble Pie. This is a book I read a little bit in the past month. They're people who enjoy how hard it is. This was hard. Santa's sleigh is vertically lifting off the ground at a rate of 5,400 miles per hour. He is really shooting off. That's like a rocket. The elf on the ground is standing 20 miles from the sleigh launch point. How fast, in radians per hour, is the angle of elevation between the ground and the elf's line of sight of the sleigh increasing when the sleigh is at an elevation of 40 miles? That was a mouthful. I think that this problem was so difficult mostly because it involves trig, and we haven't really touched on how to do related rates with trig. That's what made it so hard initially, but now we got it. All right, I've taken the liberty of going ahead and filling in all of our known information. We're gonna establish a relationship between these two sides, and we're gonna do that using tangent, opposite over adjacent of the angle we pick right there, which is our elevation. So I'm sure you're wondering why I wrote it like this. This is the same thing as saying opposite over adjacent, y over 20. You derive both sides. The derivative of tangent is secant squared. All right, we're gonna stop right here. Very important rule that you have to remember. Anytime you derive something, and it's called the chain rule. So all the chain rule is saying is that if you have a function and a function, derive a special way. So derive your outside, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna derive the inside one. So we actually have to write this. This d theta over dt is actually what we're trying to solve for. So we're trying to find the rate. So we're gonna do the chain rule. So dy over dt. Besides our d theta over dt, we know all this other stuff. We know what secant squared of theta is. We know what dy over dt is. dy over dt is 5,400. Why? Because it literally says it. This is just the rate. We use the Pythagorean theorem to find our hypotenuse. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. To divide this by this, just with the square root of 5, and we have to square it. Simplify this right side, all you get is 270. So in order to isolate our variable, what we're just gonna do is we're gonna divide by 5 on both sides. 54. We're not actually done yet. Our unit is radians per hour. 54 radians per hour. All right, imagine that you are this little elf down here sitting there watching Santa's sleigh and straight up into the air. Keep eye contact with Santa. So the angle at which you actually have to look up at him is changing 4 radians per hour. But I messed up with originally. I plugged in y at the very start. Simplify this and get that the right side is just equal to 2. Derive both sides once again. Keep that chain. Derivative of a constant is 0. Because when you plug in 40 at the very start, you're saying that x not changing, y is not changing. I spent a little bit more than a day on this problem of my time at home. I spent a little bit into the morning. These are all my math classes I've taken, to be real honest with y'all. I just want to go back to the quote that I had initially at the beginning of the video. Math is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, but the people who love it love how hard it is. And that's why I like calculus so much. The first day of calculus, my brain, it was imploding in on itself. Exactly why I love math so much is because it really does challenge me, where you actually have to apply your knowledge. You can't memorize these problems because they're going to be different every time. Math is all about learning how to do something and applying it to various other situations. This could change however. Kind of like how I changed this, originally talking about a rocket to talking about Santa just for the purpose of this video. I love math so much. Math has always been one of my favorite subjects in school, most because when I'm doing it, of course, it's gonna be hard sometimes. There's gonna be times where I don't understand it, and that's what I love about it. It's always changing. It is such a privilege to be here to talk to you guys about one of my favorite subjects in calculus, related rates. Thank you so much for considering me for this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much.